Adrian was just 5 months old, barely steady in his high chair, and I was determined to do it the Montessori way. He was sipping breast milk from a tiny shot glass, yes, actual glass, while I hovered, half proud, half anxious, worried he might drop it. And then, of course, it wasn't him, it was me. I knocked something over, it shattered, and the sound sent Adrian into tears. In that moment, the frustration hit me like a wave. One of those real life parenting moments where you think, oh no, here we go. That familiar thought creeps in. I'm about to lose it. Why is everything spiraling before 9 a.m.? Sounds familiar? That's the motherhood's greatest soundtrack. Chaos on repeat. And underneath the noise, that quiet guilt. Why can't I handle this better? Why do I keep snapping? But here's the truth. It's not proof you're failing as a parent. It's proof you're human. And here's the good news. Your brain can learn a new response. And what I'm about to give you isn't just another parenting hack. It's a signature tool I developed inside the Compass Circle. I call it the QRS technique. Question, reason, story. It's a quick reset you can use in the heat of the moment. Just a few seconds, yet it can change the direction of your entire day. So instead of reacting on autopilot, I paused and asked, what's really going on here? Then I reminded myself why staying calm matters, because my calm helps Adrian feel safe. And finally, I reframed the story. This is simply a chance for both of us to learn that accidents happen. There is a chance to learn about cause and effect, about actions and consequences, and to remember that we can handle them together. You see, that tiny shift, it helped me pause before snapping and power up instead of burning out. So why does this matter right now with back to school already in full swing? Because this is exactly the season when chaos shows up the loudest. Those early mornings, the sibling squabbles, the snack spills, the mad dash to get out of the door, it all piles up fast. After a summer of looser days, the shift into structured routines can feel overwhelming for everyone. That's why weaving the QRS technique into your back-to-school rhythm matters so much. It gives you a simple, powerful tool to bring calm into the mess, clarity into the noise, and a chance to turn spirals into opportunities for more intentional, peaceful parenting. And here is the wild part. Literally, the way our brains handle chaos today isn't all that different from how our ancestors handled danger thousands of years ago. Our wiring is ancient. It's a leftover survival instinct designed to keep us alive when the threats were real. And although we are not facing saber-toothed tigers anymore, when chaos hits, spilled milk, a screaming toddler, sibling wars, our nervous system still reacts as if life is on the line. You see, the amygdala, your brain's fear center, goes off like a fire alarm. And the prefrontal cortex, the calm, problem-solving part you wish you had in those moments, shuts down. That's why you yell. That's why you slam the drawer. That's why later you whisper to yourself, I wish I handled this differently. But here is the hope. Your brain is plastic. Neuroplasticity literally means you can rewire it. With practice, you can teach your nervous system a new script. Instead of reacting, you can respond. Instead of guilt, you can grow. And that's exactly where the QRS technique comes in. Picture this. You are already late for the dentist, and your toddler suddenly decides pens are optional. Again? Or the kids are wrestling in the back of the seat of the car, and one of them lets out a scream that could win an Oscar. Or you just clean the kitchen, and 2.3 seconds later, someone manages to spill juice, cereal, and glitter. Yes, glitter all at once. Your nervous system on fire. Your instinct, snap. Your guilt, instant. That's where QRS technique comes in. Let's run it in real life. Q is for question. Pause and ask. What's really going on in here? Is this about the pants, or is my toddler craving control? Is this about the scream, or is someone just overtired? Is this about the spill, or was my child trying to help and it went sideways? That one question flips you from judgment to curiosity. Next, R is for reason. Remind yourself, why do I want to stay calm? Because when I stay calm, my child feels safe. Because modeling regulation teaches them how to regulate. Because peace feels better than power struggles. Your why is stronger than your instinct. And finally, S is for story. Now, reframe the moment. Instead of, this always happens, I can't catch a breath, try, hey, this is hard, but it's also a chance to teach resilience. My kids have handled hurdles before, and they can handle this one too. You see, when you shift the story, you're not just rewiring a single moment, you are reshaping the narrative your family carries forward. And here is the wild part. Running through QRS takes seconds. It's not about elaborate Pinterest perfect ritual. It's a micro habit. And micro habits create macro changes. But don't just take my word for it. Science backs this up. In psychology, it's called pattern interruption. You are breaking the autopilot habit loop, trigger, reaction, regret, and inserting a pause. This pause is golden. Dr. Wendy Wood, a habit researcher, says most of what we do daily isn't a decision. It's a habit loop. The QRS technique hacks that loop. You hit pause, disrupt the cycle, and choose a different ending. And when you repeat it, you are literally rewiring your brain's pathways. Neuroscientists call it use-dependent plasticity. The more you practice calm, the stronger the calm response becomes. Now, let's go back to the kitchen. Juice spilled, glitter everywhere, you're triggered, but you pause. Question, what's really going on? They were trying to help, and it went sideways. Reason, why do I want to stay calm? Because exploding over glitter isn't the memory I want them to carry. And finally, the story. How can I reframe this? Okay, this is a teaching moment. We'll clean it together. And maybe next time, glitter stays outside my house forever. See the shift? The scene did not change. The meltdown didn't vanish, but you changed the energy. And that shift in energy doesn't just shape the moment, it sets the atmosphere your kids are growing up with. Which brings me to where we are right now. As we walk this back to school season, chaos tends to crank up. Early mornings, new routines, the rush to get everyone out of the door. And just like that moment with the glass, our kids are watching us closely. They're like little emotional detectives, picking up on every cue, whether we're anxious or calm, whether we see this season as stressful or as a fresh start. They become fluent in our unspoken language. Our size, our tone, the look on our face as we glance over the calendar, or our body language. That implicit communication is powerful. It tells them whether this season should be feeling exciting or dreadful or overwhelming. And they mirror it back to us almost instinctively. And here is the thing. Not every child feels the same about back to school. Some are thrilled, some are nervous, some are holding both feelings at the same time, and that's totally okay. Just last week at our dinner table, a little non-negotiable treasured ritual when we all gathered together, Julia was already lamenting about how impossible sophomore year was going to be. Anticipating the crazy homework load stacked on top of daily grueling cross-country practice, total dread, total panic. And across the table, Adrian was practically bouncing, so excited to start sixth grade. Yay! I can't wait to see all my friends. Summer felt so long. Two kids, same table, same season, completely different stories. And that's what makes our role so vital. And that's exactly where the QRS technique helps. It gives us a way to meet the unexpected with calm and curiosity. And we can guide our kids through the turbulence of transition without getting swept away ourselves. So instead of saying, the beginning of the year is always tough, or school is such a drag after summer, you can shift the script. Try curiosity instead. Like, I'm curious what new things you'll discover this year. Or, I'm so curious how many new friends you will make this year. This small change keeps it open-ended and invites curiosity and positivity instead of worry. But when worry does show up, we can validate it, because worry or anxiety isn't bad, it's normal. It's a healthy response to new things or uncertainty. In fact, worry and excitement sit side by side in our brain, just two opposite ends of the same spectrum. In fact, they are biological cousins, since they trigger the same physical sensation in the body. Racing heart, butterflies, sweaty palms. Neuroscientists refer to this as arousal. And the brain can label it as either fear or excitement, depending on the story we tell ourselves. That's why reframing matters so much. So when we tell our kids it's okay to feel nervous, grown-ups feel that way too. We're teaching them that change can feel uncomfortable and they can still handle it. We can even point them back to their own success stories. Say, hey, remember that time when you were so nervous before the soccer tryouts and you managed it like a champ? That reminder becomes proof that they are capable of handling this too. You see, what grounds our kids isn't a flawless morning checklist. It's us. Our calm presence, our curiosity, the story we tell with our words, our body language, and our unspoken cues. Because when we show up steady, we become the bridge between dread and delight. And our kids learn in real time that new beginnings might feel strange, but they're not scary. They're manageable. They might even be full of possibilities. So as you practice QRS technique this week, know that you're not just calming the chaos, you're also setting the tone for your child to feel capable and at ease as they head back to school. And your curiosity becomes their guide. You've got this. And so do they. And listen, I don't get this right every time either. Sometimes I snap, I yell, or slam the door. Sometimes I cry. But the QRS technique reminds me I'm not powerless. I have a tool, a choice, and the way back to the mom I want to be. This is not about perfection. This is about practice. One pause, one reframe, one power up at a time. So, if you are ready for more simple, powerful shifts like this, tools that help you parent with intention, even when life feels messy, come join us inside the Compass Circle. This is where we practice together, laugh at the chaos, and remind each other that small pauses create big ripples. So, here is your homework this week. Catch one spicy moment, just one, when the spilled snacks or the sibling squabbles start to spiral, and instead of reacting on autopilot, hit pause and run through QRS. Question, reason, story. That's it. And notice what happens. Notice how your nervous system softens. Notice how your child responds differently. Notice how the energy shifts and how it gives you just a little more space to breathe. Because these tiny pauses create big ripples. And speaking of ripples, next episode is our grand finale in this Back to School Rhythm series. We are talking about the MIA routine, a game-changing rhythm that helps you anchor your day when everything else feels a little chaotic. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Until then, my sweet friend, and remember this, you're not failing. You are rewiring, one pause at a time. I'll see you next time.